Where do you stand on customer relations? Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. I've got a lot of clients, and I've also had throughout the years customers here and there of specific items, but I work with clients who work with customers. And the relationship that I have with clients oftentimes is very similar to the relationship they're having with their customers. And it's something to really keep an eye on. And here's the thing I always go back to: there's a time and place for everything. And while I certainly don't subscribe to the customer always being right, and that you need to bend over backwards at every single chance, especially when they're pushing things that they shouldn't be, there's a time and place for everything. And so you got to be willing to step back and take a look at a situation. So I'll give you an example. I've had customers that even after, or excuse me, clients. For me, I'm working a lot with clients, and I've had clients that have pushed their way through the lines that I've drawn. And you always have to design lines in a relationship, what's to be expected and what's not to be expected. And I've drawn the lines expecting them to be crossed on occasion, and they almost always are. And then I remind them about the lines that are drawn. So, for example, the times of the day, the times of the week that I allow for communication. I draw those lines and I stick to them. Now, every once in a while, there's an emergency. There's something that the client gets worked up over. They step over the line, and that's okay. But if you get too strict about these things, then you're not keeping real clear-headed. What you got to do is take everything as it comes and handle it where it happens, because sometimes the emergency is real and you got to pay attention to it. Most of the time it isn't. And I have to remind clients, okay, hey, there's a reason why I'm available during these times or not available during these times. But I'll work on something on Christmas Day if necessary, if it means moving forward, even though I don't allow that for me and my clients. But if it's necessary, it's necessary. You do what you got to do. And so there's a time and place for everything, and you've got to draw those lines with your customers. What's available, what isn't available, your customer service, your customer relations, how is that going to work? How is it going to work in the long run? What can they expect from you and your team? You got to draw these things out, stick to them as best as possible, but allow for flexibility, especially if you've got a team of people that are working on customer relations. Allow for the flexibility for them to judge a time and a moment as to when they need to fudge the lines a little bit here and there. It makes a big difference. It gets appreciated on the other side. I can't say it gets appreciated every time, but it will be appreciated by the right people at the right time. And hopefully that's helpful. I'm not sure. it's a very common thing that I come into. I come into contact with it all the time. And the people that I know that have the best relationship with their customers are ones that have a strict policy, but not too strict. That they allow the people that are on the front lines working with customers to be able to judge each situation individually. So, if you're looking for more help with your overall strategy, go check out my book if you haven't yet. It's called 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business. You can get a free copy over at amazonproofbook.com. I'll be back here tomorrow night, as I am every night. This is the last night in California for 2020. And so we're heading back to Oregon. I'm headquartered over in Southern Oregon, in Grants Pass, Oregon. And so we'll be back there tomorrow night. We'll see you then. In the meantime, you get out there and let the magic happen.